Doctor! I say, Doctor!
Who is that?
There you are.
Whatever is the matter, my dear?
We've looked everywhere for you.
Clearly not everywhere. Or you would have found me before now, wouldn't you think?
The bellboy was sure you were in your room. And we were knocking for simply ages.
I'm afraid I left at the crack of dawn, my dear Florence. I'm so sorry if I've caused you worry.
It's just my cousin. She's taken a bit of a funny turn after breakfast. It's probably nothing, but if you could just take a look at her...
Of course, of course. Back at the hotel, is she?
Yes. She's in her room. I'm worried it's a stroke. But maybe I'm just thinking that because it said in the papers that Stalin had one. Oh, I don't know. I'm so sorry for troubling you, Doctor. I know you've said you're retired.
Oh, it's quite all right. Although I must point out, I am not strictly a doctor of medicine, but I have picked up a little here and there.
And what were you a doctor of, exactly? Something well paid, no doubt. Enough to afford to retire to a 5-star hotel in the Hawaiian Territories, at least. What is it you used to do?
I never had a career, if that's what you mean. I should travel, explore, try to make a difference. But there comes a time, my dear, when you realize that the universe, that is, the world, can get along perfectly well without you. My days of traveling are over, Florence. It's high time I enjoyed some peace and quiet.
What's so funny, Doctor?
I'm just remembering how I was when we parted company. Oh, so naive. Peace and quiet, that's all I wanted. If only I knew.
What happened then?
Then everything changed. Forever.
Where are we this time, Doctor?
America, 1982, I believe, or thereabouts.
Earth again? Why are we always coming to Earth? You have a machine that can take us anywhere in the universe, or so you tell us, and we're always landing on Earth.
I happen to think that Earth is one of the most interesting planets out there. So important in the grand scheme of things, and yet so...
dull.
Unassuming, I think is the word you're looking for, Don. I find humanity fascinating.
Is that why you like having humans travel with you, Doctor? You like to study us?
I thought you'd find travelling in the Tardis to be a mind-expanding experience. Travel does broaden the mind, you know.
You just have to travel. Really, why are we here? Did the Tardis pick up any unusual signals? Trouble always seems to follow you around. And for some reason, you see it as your job to put things right.
Not today. Today is perfectly ordinary, and for once I suggest we both enjoy it. It looks as if there's even some sort of town over there. Do you see it?
There's a beeping noise coming from the TARDIS.
Ignore it. I always do.
It sounds important.
You're able to identify the significance of the signal by the sound of its beep?
This one certainly seems to want your attention.
I am fundamentally uninterested.
Fine, I'll go see what it is. If nothing else, at least I'll shut it off.
I'd rather you didn't. Oof, she never listens to me. Lissa, when you two get to be my age, you'll realize that some things are just not important.
Doctor?
There you are. I told you not to bother with it. Come along then and shut the door behind you.
It was the Time Lords.
Was it now? Bully for them. Did you care for some tea? Made some before we left.
They've summoned me.
What? Summoned? Who do they think they are, summoning me?
No, Doctor, I've been summoned.
You? Don't be ridiculous.
Lissa!
Come out of there at once.
Doctor! I can't, the door locked itself.
Lissa! Lissa!
She's gone. Did the Time Lords take her?
Interfering busybodies. You bring her back this instant!
What can we do?
Clearly, we wait.
Wait, that's it? They abduct Lissa and we do nothing?
Well, we could attempt to amuse ourselves. It's just that Earth is so dull.
Hello?
Excuse me for disturbing you, sir. May I clean the room?
By all means, my dear. Don't let me stop you. Now, where was I? The heart of the comrade in arms, wise leader and teacher of the Soviet Union, has ceased to beat. You'd almost think he was still around to scare them into flattery, wouldn't you? Poor old Joe Stalin. History will never be as kind to you again.
There you are, Doctor.
Florence, how are we this morning?
Doctor, are you sitting up here on your own in this room? It is a beautiful day outside. Connie and I are planning to walk down to the beach this morning. And I hope you haven't forgotten about our game of cards this evening.
Not at all. I was quite looking forward to it. I was merely catching up on my reading.
I think it's your correspondence you could do with catching up on, Doctor. Look at all these letters on your desk.
Oh, please don't touch them. They are carefully sorted.
Oh, dear. I'm so sorry, Doctor.
Allow me, madam.
Thank you, Luca.
I do apologize, Doctor.
It's quite all right, Florence. It was an accident.
Such a lot of letters, all in the same handwriting. Your wife? A business partner?
I'm afraid I have neither. And since the letters are all unopened, I have to confess I do not know who they are from, or what they concern.
I'm sorry, Doctor. You must think me awfully nosy.
It's quite natural to be curious.
Anyway, I had best be going. Connie will be waiting for me.
How is she?
Much better now, thanks to you. I'll leave you to your reading. Always a pleasure to see you, Doctor.
You too, my dear. Until this evening.
The madam is very taken with you, sir.
Do you think so?
She is trying to find out more about you.
I hope there isn't much to know.
If you are divorced or widowed, if you have money, your past is a great mystery to her.
It amazes me that people think the past defines a person. People change every day. Today, I am just an old man looking forward to a relaxing afternoon. That is all. Nothing more to it.
Madame Florence and her friends are here every year, always on the lookout for a rich husband.
Oh dear. I fear I may disappoint her in that regard.
They are not bad people, just lonely. And I cannot blame the madam for being curious. You are more interesting than many of the men that stay in this hotel.
Thank you, my child.
If I may ask a question, sir, why don't you open these letters? There are so many. They must be trying to give you important news.
I don't need to open them, my dear, because I recognize the handwriting.
I see. Someone you do not wish to hear from.
You could say that. The handwriting is mine.
Morning, Phil.
Miss Peterson, good morning.
Any new arrivals during the night?
No, I would have called you. Nothing all night. Just sat there. Why does it look like a police box?
The chameleon circuit doesn't work, but he likes it like that.
I could spend the rest of my life studying this machine. Right now, I couldn't even begin to tell you how it even exists. I feel like a caveman who's been handed a smartphone.
You should see inside. Oh no. It's him again, Phil.
Robbie.
I'd better take this in me office.
Robbie, I think you should know.
Hello? Hello?
Morning, Miss Peterson.
Prime Minister, you're here.
Were you mocking the Prime Minister's accent just then?
I wouldn't do that, sir.
I thought not. Where's the doctor?
How would I know?
Miss Peterson, in this building, we have a live extraterrestrial that you helped bring in. Now, I can send in expensive and quite frankly dubious experts who'll likely throw math questions at it and play a series of 5 notes till no one can get that blasted tune out of their heads. Or, we can use resources that we have. The doctor can speak any alien language and works pro bono, yes? Sounds like the perfect solution to me.
Mr. Holmes, with all due respect, I don't know where the doctor is. You know what he's like these days. He comes and he goes as he pleases. I haven't seen him in weeks.
Well, with all due respect to you, Robin, I know that isn't true. He was spotted with you in Kent 2 days ago when you found this Geordie in the first place.
Jihadi.
Whatever. I don't think I'm out of line here. This was his idea in the first place. He told us where and when this thing would land, and now he's just up and vanished.
What can I say? I don't know where he is.
Of course, there is another option.
You can't be serious. This isn't right. I've been entrusted with looking after them. You can't just borrow him.
I can do whatever I like. One of the perks of the job.
Ah, my hosts, I take it. I'm afraid I have a few complaints about your hospitality so far. I seem to have been issued only 65 books, and I've read them all cover to cover 10 times, and then again in reverse. Finnegan's Wake made a lot more sense that way, come to think of it. What else? Ah, yes, the full English breakfast. Only 1 hash brown? Hardly adequate. Finally, and most importantly, who are you, and why am I being imprisoned here?
Doctor! I forgot how much you like to hear the sound of your own voice.
Then we've met before, I take it?
Does he really not remember me?
He hasn't met us yet, Prime Minister. This is the doctor from an earlier point in the timeline, and...
Fascinating, I'm sure. We need your help, Doctor.
Perhaps if I was told where I was and why I'm being kept here, I might be glad to offer my services.
Doctor, I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm not asking.
Carly! Carly!
Doctor, where have you been?
No time to explain. Come with me, I need your help.
What was that creature? It was trying to kill us. Was it on that ship we saw? What are you doing in the bushes?
Waiting for you. Come with me. We don't have much time.
I can't. I'm going to the library to do revisions.
Really? I can think of a much better way to spend a Saturday. Are you going to choose revisions over the chance to travel anywhere in time and space in my Tardis?
Forget school?
What do you think?
This is amazing.
Can you press that button there?
This one?
No, that one.
What did I do?
We're moving.
Moving? So we're not in Canterbury anymore?
No.
And we can go anywhere?
Anywhere.
This is absurd.
I have finished the analysis you have requested, Master.
Good boy, K9.
What? What's that?
Who's that? He's my dog. K9, meet Carly.
Greetings, mistress.
He can talk?
Of course he can talk.
So where are we going first? It's the seaside. Where are we?
Whitby.
Up north?
Yorkshire.
When are we? Have we travelled in time?
No, sorry. Carly, a lot is going to happen today. I can't stray outside the timeline unless strictly necessary.
Oh.
So why are we here?
Carly, you will never find better fish and chips in your life than you will here. If I had my time again, I would never eat anything else.
So my teacher, Miss Hamilton, and her friends, did they really travel with you?
Dara? Yeah, she did. A long, long time ago. She would have been about your age at the time. It's good to hear they're all getting along splendidly. You didn't mention me, did you? Seeing me, I mean.
No, of course not.
Good. I need you to keep an eye on them for me, Carly. A lot is going to fall into place later today. I'm going to need all of you. You need to be at Dara Hamilton's house at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Why?
Do you trust me, Carly?
Now, let's see what the armator makes of you, So, you, my little friend, make 22. One a day since I arrived here. Someone is very persistent, aren't they? Let's see. Contemporary paper. You haven't travelled in time, have you? Contemporary ink. Doesn't appear to have left the island since you were sealed. Whoever wants my attention is out there, somewhere, here and now. Who sent you? Still no nearer an answer. But you'll slip up one day, my friend.
There we are, Doctor.
My word.
You recognize the species, I take it?
Yes, but what's it doing here? This is early 21st century Earth, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought you said you didn't know where he was, Miss Peterson. What else does he know?
This young lady hasn't told me anything. I'm merely being observant. The earpiece you're wearing was manufactured in 2020, so I would conclude that to be a good estimate of the year, given that you don't look to me like a man who collects antiques.
Very clever. You can see that we've had to take precautions with this creature, Doctor.
Evidently. Dare I say the chains are a little excessive?
It's emitting some sort of psychic field. The unit men on guard here working 30-minute shifts. They've already had a few people break down. This is as close as I dare stand after last time.
The effects are unfortunate but unintentional. They're merely a part of his natural defense system.
Are you suggesting we should let it run amok? Let loose in London, this thing would wreak total chaos.
So out of fear, you keep this poor creature chained up against his will. You could be making the situation 1,000 times worse.
Then I would suggest you talk to it, Doctor. Make sure it doesn't.
I will do my best. Hello there. There's no reason to be alarmed, my good fellow. None of us mean you any harm. I promise you that. Who told you you would be safe? Your fleet? There are more jihadi nearby?
I cannot understand him. He's speaking English.
That's only what we hear.
What's it saying, Doctor?
Naturally, he's angry about being imprisoned. I suggest you release him at once.
Impossible.
If he's kept here, I'm afraid the consequences could be dire. His species have traveled to this universe in search of a new home. He was sent here on a mission of peace, to make contact. If you continue to hold him here, his companions might think he's been taken hostage.
You mean they might try to rescue him?
Oh, undoubtedly. The jihadi are a violent race, by and large, but that doesn't mean they won't use force to protect their own. I fear that by holding the ambassador here, you're putting this entire planet at risk.
The doctor didn't say anything about keeping the jihadi locked up, Prime Minister.
Unlike you, Miss Peterson, I don't trust a doctor to the ends of the earth. For all I know, this whole thing could be part of an invasion plan.
Are you saying I had something to do with this fellow's capture?
It's too difficult to explain. Doctor, what do you think we should do?
That's right. Ask his advice. He doesn't even know what's going on.
Well, for what it's worth, I think your best course of action would be release him immediately so he can get word to the fleet that their ambassador is safe and alive. They might be willing to forgive this mistake if you act in good time.
Just hand him over. These creatures need to learn that the human race means business, Doctor.
You don't intend to use this poor fellow as a hostage, I hope.
It's a very strong word. But there must be a way to make the most of the situation. What do these Geordies have to offer us? Technology? Resources?
I think our time is up, Mr. Holmes. You've had quite enough of our cooperation for one day. Doctor, if you'd follow me.
I'd be delighted to, Miss Peterson. Back to my cell, I take it? Jolly good.
Ah, shoot. I'm out.
Yes, I think I'd better fold as well.
You should carry on, Doctor. You had a good hand last time.
I'm afraid the stakes are a little too high for me, Florence. I'm unused to gambling. With money, at any rate. I think it best I withdraw this time.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Right now, I'm finding this tobacco. Adventure enough, my dear.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd enjoy the pipe I bought for you. I should have realized you weren't in the habit.
Well, if memory serves, I did smoke a pipe in my younger days. Excuse me.
I think certain men suit a pipe. It's a shame when they are forced to give it up. I take it your wife was not a fan?
No, it is nothing like that. There came a point in my travels when I was cut off from my source of supply for a long time. I soon found I no longer needed it.
Well, Florence here saw you walking along the beach this afternoon, and she said what that man needed was a pipe.
This afternoon? Oh, I don't remember seeing you, my dears.
We have something to confess, Doctor.
Florence?
Connie and I, we were wondering where you go in the daytime, on these walks of yours. This afternoon, we decided to follow you. We saw you walk along the beach and then disappear behind some rocks. Naturally, we were worried you had fallen, so we followed. We couldn't see you anywhere. There was just this blue box.
A what?
Then, just as we were about to come back for help, we saw you leave. You must have been inside there for a good 20 minutes. We don't mean to pry, but we can't help but wonder what you were doing in there.
Of all the nerve! How dare you intrude into my private affairs like that? I should think that I have the right to spend my afternoons as I wish without having to answer for myself.
Doctor, we didn't mean to offend you.
If you'll excuse me, ladies, I'll take my leave.
You've done it now, Florence.
Mr. Doctor!
Oh, I'm so sorry, my child. I almost didn't see you there. Good evening, Luca.
Mister, there was another delivery for you this afternoon. I was on my way to give you this.
Another letter.
Perhaps you should open it.
Who left this? Did you see them?
No, it was on the front desk when I returned from my break. I did not see who left it.
No matter. Thank you, Luca.
Doctor, I just wanted to apologize for before. We had no right to follow you.
And I apologize for my reaction, Florence. Forgive me. I have a lot on my mind.
Please join us for another game.
I'm sorry, but I think I'll retire for now. Maybe another time.
A strange man. I don't know what you see in him, Florence.
I admit he's odd, but he's very well read. Intellectual.
He's British. They all sound like that. If you're going to go after a Brit, you could at least pick a rich one.
I know he has the accent, but I don't think he's spent a lot of time in England. He talked a lot about Russia the other day. I think he may have something to do with the revolution.
Didn't he tell you that he knew Stalin personally? I don't know, Florence. Intellectual, mysterious. Those letters you saw, that strange box of his. Don't you see what it adds up to? If you ask me, I think he might be some sort of commie spy.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
This is it, Dara. Careful with it. It's over 200 years old.
The Time Traveler, a memoir by Charlie Hawkins.
I first came across it about 20 years ago, not long after I last saw the Doctor. I don't know of any other copies. It's written as a work of fiction, but I think there's a good reason to believe the author was a companion of the Doctor's. Charlie Hawkins was sent to the Australia colonies as punishment, pickpocketing in the late 18th century. When he was there, he met a man called the Doctor, who traveled through time and space in a blue police box with a woman from the future called Moira.
Moira? The Doctor was traveling with a Moira Sky when I last saw him.
Yes, when I first talked to you, Christine, this book crossed my mind again. Charlie Hawkins traveled with the Doctor and Moira to the future several times before he was returned to his own era. I was never sure whether to show this to you two. After all, it contains information about the Doctor's future. If we were to meet him again, it could cause problems. I've sometimes regretted the decision to read it myself.
Then why are you showing us now, Mark?
The book has a strange final chapter, set many years after Mr. Hawkins leaves the Doctor's side. The author runs into a man who appears to be yet another incarnation of the Doctor, who speaks largely in riddles. But look here.
I can't stay. Time is running out. Carly needs me. Carly Jacobs. You think it could refer to our Carly?
What are the odds?
But this man doesn't match her description of the Doctor.
True. That's assuming she's telling us the whole truth.
It could be that this will refer to her in the future, Mark. It's possible that she's the right Carly, but she doesn't know it yet.
Christine is right, Mark. I think you're fast becoming a suspicious old man. And we have more important problems right now. That creature that attacked us last night. What happened to it?
It's being held at unit headquarters in London, along with a second survivor of the crash.
There were two of them?
No, this one was different. I didn't get a good look at it. There's definitely something unusual going on. Before I arrived at the scene, the troops were under instruction to take any survivors alive, at all costs. Orders from the Prime Minister himself.
Holmes? I didn't think the Prime Minister acknowledged the existence of alien life.
Most of them aren't even informed. Plausible deniability. But I've heard disturbing rumors about Holmes. He takes an unusual amount of interest in unit business. Back when he was the leader of the opposition, he managed to ensure the coalition increased their funding. I even heard the new London headquarters was his brainchild.
Isn't that all good news for UNIT? That they have the government's support?
There's support and there's control, Dara. UNIT has always prided itself on being independent from any one nation's interests. Right now, I fear they could be turning into the Prime Minister's private army.
Even if that's true, what can we do about it? This is serious stuff. This goes right to the top. It's too big for just the three of us.
If I may say so, Dara, the Doctor would never concede to overwhelming odds in such a way. I am sorry if I have spoken out of turn.
No, Christine. Go on.
Perhaps, because this is the world we live in. We have less perspective. But if a Doctor were here, I just know that this is the kind of thing that he would investigate. He may not be here for us now, but if our time with him meant anything, it is that none of us should stand by when we can make a difference, even if it is just the three of us. That is, in my view.
She's right, Dara. If this was happening on a world we had landed on with the Doctor, we wouldn't think twice about it.
That's because we have the Doctor with us, Mark. And if the Doctor were here, we might have more of an idea what to do.
We're not without leads. I should be able to get into Unit HQ easily enough.
All the same, I'd rather have him here in a time like this. I'm sure we all would. If only we had some way of getting in touch with him.
Perhaps it is worth talking to Miss Jacobs again. Mark may be right. She may know more about the Doctor than she is telling us. And if she knows what was at stake, she may be more willing to help.
That's a long shot.
But worth it. You two could take the diary to her. Perhaps if she sees that, she'll open up.
Okay, we'll pay her a visit. What will you do, Mark?
I'll go to Unit HQ, see what I can dig up there. I'll be in my mobile if you need me.
Well, I suppose you knew the day would come when you would have to move on eventually. Time to try somewhere else again. Where to now, old girl? Somewhere. Whoever is on our trail won't find us. Oh, I know. I should investigate. I know that. But does it have to be today? After all of time and space at my disposal. Where's my key? Ah, here it is. Do you know, I've always wanted to own a shop. I wonder if... No! The scoundrels! They've stolen my Tardis! Of all the nerve! And to leave a note as well. What do you have to say for yourself, hmm?
Now that got your attention. Don't you open your mail? Sending someone to pick you up. Stay put.
Mr. Prime Minister, are you telling us that this emergency cabinet meeting has been called because the UK is under threat from extraterrestrials? Frankly, I find it all very hard to believe.
Mr. Singh, I don't care much what you believe. However, I assure all of you that an alien life form has crash-landed on British soil. And I have it on good authority that the country is at great risk of attack. And I'm telling you that until this crisis is over, this country is in a state of emergency.
Mr. Holmes, this is greatly irresponsible. How long will this crisis go on for?
How long is a piece of string?
But we cannot give you dictatorial powers just like that. Where is the proof?
Mr. Singh, I accept your resignation.
My what?
Your resignation. Please leave.
You can't just sack me.
I didn't sack you. You're resigned. Please escort him out of the building, will you?
This is outrageous.
Honestly, I don't know. Another MP cut fiddling expenses. Does anyone else have any questions?
Just one.
Doctor, how did he get in here?
Mr. Holmes, why is the jihadi ambassador, the one I told you to pick up and take good care of, being kept in such appalling conditions?
You mean the alien you neglected to tell us could cause a mental breakdown to anyone who came near it? I have to put the safety of my citizens first.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. You've mocked Britain for retaliation. Think of what you'd do. If one of you was working overseas, perhaps visiting the site of one of your little oil wars you're so fond of, and you got into trouble. Your helicopter crashes, but a local militia rescues you, and you, as Prime Minister, have to decide what to do. You had no word that they're safe, or even still alive. You know the people keeping them are well armed. How long would you wait, Mr. Holmes? The clock is ticking. From where I'm standing, you only have one shot.
And what's that?
Put me in charge. I gave you a chance, but you've blown it. I'll tell you what to do so as not to get everyone you've ever met killed. I'm going to the unit headquarters right now to make sure the damage you've done isn't irreversible.
Who do you think you are? I know some members of the unit seem happy to help you with your problems, Doctor, but that doesn't give you the right to barge in here and tell me how to do my job.
So what are you going to do? Arrest me or let me see the ambassador? It's got to be one or the other, and we don't have all day.
We're going to go back to Unit HQ together. I'm not letting you out of me sight.
Miss Hamilton, hi.
Carly?
I was so worried about you after the other night.
I'm okay. Thanks, Christine.
May we come in, Carly? There's something we'd like you to see.
Five. 6. Focus. It's not real. It wasn't your fault.
Rasta? Rasta?
Sir.
Concentrate on your breathing. Stay in control.
Yes, sir.
Remember, breathe, count, breathe. Don't let it inside your head.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Do you recognize the man in the book, Carly?
No, I told you, the doctor I met was much older. Sorry I can't be any more help. What time is it now?
It is nearly 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, right.
Have you had lunch yet?
No, but I'm not hungry. I had a big breakfast. Miss Hamilton, I was meaning to call you anyway. I think I lost something last night. We were attacked.
Lost something?
I had a ring my mother gave me, but I can't find it anywhere. Could I have a look at your house?
Couldn't we do this another time, Carly?
I'm sorry. It's just very important to me. It won't take long, I promise. That ring is about all I have left of her. Please?
Colonel Triad?
Captain Fawcett. Good afternoon.
I thought that was you, Colonel. I heard you were still in strategy and defense. What brings you to the capital?
I'm here for some special training. Top secret.
Oh, of course, of course. My men are here for training as well.
You know, we could have arrived here much quicker.
I told you, I'm not letting you out of my sight, and I'm certainly not letting you make your own way here.
Isn't that...
Holmes, yes, between you and me, he's here all the time lately. There's even a rumor of a live ET on site. Still, not our place to ask questions, is it?
No, of course not. I'm sorry, Captain. I must really be off. They're expecting me upstairs. Excuse me.
No. It's not right.
Rossiter, what are you doing, man?
It wasn't my fault. We were so scared. I didn't know.
Stop doing that, Rossiter.
I won't let it happen again.
Concentrate on what's real. Wherever you think you are, come back.
If she's free, it won't happen again.
Rossiter, that's an order!
I'm sorry, sir.
Mark?
You're not going to believe this. He's here.
Who?
Holmes. Detaining him right now. He just got into a lift with another man. I saw them enter the building together. Hold on. We're going to 2, 3, 4 stories below ground level. Whatever he's here for is happening down there.
Can you get in?
Anything below ground level is classified. I won't have clearance. I'll have to find another way in. Maybe a maintenance entrance. Best one would probably be in the lift shaft itself. I'll call you when I can.
Be careful, Mark.
You know me. Get too old for this.
Doctor, I've brought you your lunch.
So my captor reveals herself at last.
Here we go again.
I must thank you for your hospitality. If every meal looks this appetizing, I will be sorry to escape from this place.
You say that every day.
This beef is excellent. So this is the early 21st century, I take it. You'd be surprised how much a life of time travel lets you pick up on little details. I can tell by the taste. It's all to do with pollution levels in the air.
Doctor, something you said earlier has been bothering me.
You'll have to remind me, my dear. I don't remember us having met before.
You said that the jihadi shouldn't be on Earth at this point in history. The early 21st century, I mean.
Jihadi? Here?
Yes. Why is that so wrong? Is it too soon?
It's not just a question of the date, it's that they're in this universe at all. They're an advanced species, but to cross over all the way from E-space, it's impossible.
Impossible?
Unless they had outside help. And who would do that, and why?
He's lying to me.
What are you talking about, my dear?
Mr. Doctor! All these suitcases. You are checking out?
Yes, I am. I'm not sure where that taxi driver has got to, though.
Where are you going?
The airport. I'm getting the next flight to California, and from there, I'm not too sure. England, perhaps? Anywhere but here. I do so hate flying, but there really is no other option.
I hope you have a good journey, sir. I will miss you. Most guests look down on us here. They don't respect me the way you do.
Thank you, my dear. In other circumstances, and were better forms of transport available, I would ask you to come with me. But I think I am best traveling on my own for the time being.
Luca?
Excuse me, Doctor. I must go.
Oh, don't let me hold you up. Go, go! Where has that driver gotten to?
Doctor, is that really you?
I'm afraid you've mistaken me for someone else. I am not a doctor. Are you in need of one?
Doctor, please. They said you'd be difficult, but this is important, so please stop the act. You're making a fool of yourself. I know very well who you are.
Oh, you do you?
I've been sent here by the Time Lords. They said I'm to take you to a certain time and place, England in the early 21st century. It's highly important.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I think you've been led astray. I know exactly who sent you here. Of course. This is when you were called away, wasn't it? So long ago. go. Lissa, I've retired now. Whatever the crisis is, I'm not interested.
There he is, officer. That guy with the beard. He's some sort of spy. Arrest him at once.
Who? Me?
I thought there was meant to be a guard outside the door. Where is...
Don't move.
No!
Put the gun down, son.
He's gone! The ambassador's gone! This wasn't supposed to happen.
We can worry about that when we don't have a madman aiming a gun at us. Come on, lad. Put it down.
Stay back. I won't tell you again.
I'll get you for this, Doctor.
So, Mark, you're in a lift shaft. Bet you weren't expecting this today. Good work. Now, find a maintenance hatch. Who's there?
Mark? I thought I told you to stay where you were.
Doctor?